Regular Show holds a special place in my heart. Growing up with little to do, for me anyways, it was a great pastime, and now that I'm grown, I can still go back and watch every episode of the show like it's the first time watching it. Every time I watch it, it's like I find something new every time, and I still have some very fond memories of me watching the show. For those of you that have never heard of Regular Show, you're probably too young to remember or just weren't lucky enough to get to watch this dime of a show. Regular Show mainly follows two main characters, Mordecai and Rigby, two best friends that get themselves a job at a park where you get to meet a whole bunch of amazing characters. Those characters being Benson, the park manager, who seems like a total meaniehead at first, but throughout the series, you the viewer become very fond of Benson and just hope for his overall well-being to be good. Pops is a character that you can't really take serious because he's just different, but with me saying that, that's not a bad thing. Pops is the son of the owner of the park, but is nothing like his rich, stuck-up father. Pops cares about everyone he interacts with and really cares about friendship. Skips plays a very important role in the show. If anyone ever needs anything fixed, Skips is the guy to talk to, and he always loves to help. He's also immortal, so he's basically been through it all, and there's always something new with him in every episode that he appears in. Muscleman is a friend of the cast, I'm saying that in quotations, but don't let his name fool you, because he's far from having muscles. But anyways, Muscleman is basically the prankster of the characters. He's the best prankster around, actually, and even won the prank war between the main park in the show and the rival park. High Five Ghost is Muscleman's best friend and doesn't really play a major part in the show. Yeah, he's in every single episode almost, but he doesn't have a main role. I just felt like it was a good mention of him to be on here because every time you see Muscleman, High Five Ghost is always there with him, and they are a great duo. Mordecai and Rigby are the two main characters in the show. In every episode, something crazy always seems to happen to them. It's just always an adventure with these two. Rigby is the lazy one out of the two, but he is very loyal. Mordecai is the more mature one out of the two, but sometimes seems to take advantage of Rigby, but at the end of the day, they always stick together. There are plenty of more characters, but none of them have as a significant part in the show as these guys do. I guess I could also mention Margaret and Eileen because they play a decent role in Mordecai and Rigby's life, so we'll consider them honorable mentions. Every episode of Regular Show is always different. Aside from a few episodes that I felt were a little similar, they still had a lot of differences, and each episode always has a different lesson behind it. All of these lessons being something that you can relate with, something that I feel almost everyone has experienced or gone through in their life. Now, why do I like the show so much? And to answer that simply, I think it's because of the fact that I can relate to it a lot more than I can other shows. Growing up, I've had some very fond memories with this show in the background. That could also be another reason. Maybe it's because some of the jokes in the show were kind of on the edge of being more than just a teenager show and not being able to be on Cartoon Network, but more of an Adult Swim type of show. Because now thinking back, some of the jokes were borderline Adult Swim types of jokes. I also really liked the art style that was going on in that time on Cartoon Network. I don't really watch Cartoon Network or really anything like that anymore, but I could definitely go back and watch some of the stuff that they were playing back then. Like they had Adventure Time was kind of a similar art style to Regular Show, and I believe the creator of Regular Show, J.G. Quintel, he worked on Adventure Time as well, so there could be inspiration from both shows. It's kind of weird to think that this show came out in 2009, because really the animations could hold up in 2020. I'm not going to say could have, because they 100% can hold up in 2020. You could look at this and watch it for the first time ever and be thinking in your mind like, man, did this show just come out? It's really good quality. This show was 100% before its time. Rick and Morty came out, I think, 4 years after this. This was kind of like my Rick and Morty growing up. And talking about the seasons of this show, there was 8 seasons, and I want to say the first through the third season of Regular Show, it was kind of like a Family Guy type of deal where each episode was different. It really didn't follow a certain timeline, and there wasn't a certain story that continued off of each other on each episode. But then you get into like the 4th season, and then it's finally starts having like a storyline. And I want to say the 1st and 3rd seasons aren't bad, but whenever it gets to the storyline and having like a really structured story, it gets pretty good. I'd say those are the better seasons, but I'm not even gonna hate on the first 3 seasons because they were really good as well. My personal favorite seasons are probably probably 6, 7, and 8. The 8th season is just crazy. It's something that the show hints at a lot throughout the show, and they executed it very well, in my opinion. And doing a little bit more research for this video, apparently there's a regular show movie that I just found out about. It came out in 2015, and I don't think I've watched it yet, so I may have to watch that after this, to see what it's about. Since I'm such a big fan of the show, I'm sure the movie's gonna be good too. But anyways, the show came on in 2009 and it ended in 2017. Now J.G. Quintel has made another show with the same art style called Close Enough. And it says here that the show is about a couple that faces various challenges as they transition from their 20s to their 30s. So I'm probably going to have to give that a watch too, because as I said earlier, I'm a big fan of that kind of animated art style, and it looks exactly the same as it was in regular show, so definitely going to give that a watch. But anyways, let's get back to regular show. So to kind of end this off, I'm just going to give my kind of personal opinion, and first I just want to start off by saying that I think if you've never watched the show, or maybe you've seen only a handful of episodes, go and watch the whole show through, especially if you got nothing to do. Maybe you're on break for school or something and you're just bored at home, have nothing to do, or maybe like you have nothing to do whenever you get home from work. That's what I do, is just watch shows when I get home from work, or maybe play a little games. But I really think you should give this show a shot if you've not watched it yet. Even if you have watched it and there's nothing else to watch, go turn it on the TV. It won't be disappointed. But anyways, I think that's going to do it for this video. My review of regular show, 10 out of 10. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I really like the show. One of my favorite childhood shows. But if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. Consider subscribing. Comment down below what you think. Comment down below some tips on how I should make these review videos better, because I know I'm not the best reviewer in the world, but I'm trying to get better and better as I go along. But with that being said, thank you for watching. Have a good day.